the academic experience here. So by now, you all know that about not adhering to the honor code. You've heard that enough. Arrive on time to all classes, attend all classes, come prepared, don't leave classes while in session. Cheating and plagiarism are not allowed. Now, plagiarism is accepted in certain countries, not in the US. Plagiarism is when you use someone else's work without giving them credit. And the most important thing on this slide, which is relevant to international students, is that class participation is really, really important. Class participation in the US counts for minimum of 10%, and I had a class with a 50% grade for class participation. And this is something that's very hard for international students because usually it's a very American thing, class participation. In many countries in the world, you do not participate in class. Domestic students are very articulate. They're very fluent in class. They make smart remarks. They sound smart. You cannot sound as smart. So people tend not to participate as much. And this is a very challenging thing for international students. Now, there are two types of class participation. One is voluntary. The professor asks a question. You feel like answering. You raise your hand, and you answer. The second type is cold calling. Kenneth, what is cold calling? Exactly. You don't feel like answering, but the professor will still ask you. Now, cold calling is very foreign to my culture. I mean, they do cold call on people in Israel, but only in elementary school. I was never cold call after junior high in Israel, and suddenly I had to adjust to this thing that I just sit in class. I don't want to participate, Why should you ask me? But I had to adjust. Now, the first time I was cold call on, I would never forget that. It was a finance class. And I was completely daydreaming. I was at that time probably thinking that imagining that my chair is kind of like raises in the air and leaves the classroom through the open window. And right before the chair was preparing for landing in Ben Gurion Airport, I see the professor in front of me asking me a question, and then I wake up. Now, I woke up, I just heard the end of the question, what is the ratio? And I had no idea what the question was. Everybody was looking at me. I was turning pale. The first time I'm cold call on and I don't even hear the question. And then I heard an angel in the back of my mind telling me the right answer. And when I looked back, it was actually a student telling the right answer. His name was also Dan, and he thought that the professor is talking to him. So miracles do happen at Columbia. We asked the student how comfortable were you participating in class discussions, and on the first month you see that everything is kind of like equally distributed. With 36%, more than a third of the international students saying it was hard, and it is hard. Look, the situation after 1 year, only 13% said it was difficult. So take a look at this huge improvement in a very easy part, from 14% to 41%. That's a huge improvement. It's something that can really be worked on. We also asked the students how easy or difficult was it to follow the professor in class. The first month, 14% found it difficult. And after 1 year, only 8%. But take a look at the very easy part from 33 to 61. Now, by now, you also met your learning team, and you know that it's a very different bunch of people that you're working with in terms of culture, background, style, goals, different levels of competitiveness. We asked the students how comfortable were you working with your learning team, and on the first month, 26%, a quarter of the students weren't comfortable. A quarter is a lot of people. Again, issues of language, issues of culture, different goals. After 1 year, only 7% weren't comfortable. And take a look at that. 87% thought it was easy. How easy or difficult was it to express yourself in writing, which is an important part of group assignments? The first month, 19% found it difficult. Last month, 7%. And take a look again at the very easy part. It's a huge, huge improvement. To sum up, you should realize that if you're human, culture shock will occur. And it will last probably a full semester. The second thing you should realize is that you must give yourself time to adjust to a new social environment here. and must adjust to understanding all this slang and idioms that would come with time. The third thing is expect a different learning experience, and by now I think you're kind of getting the sense of it. And the fourth part is that things gradually improve. Every day will be better in terms of adjustment than the day before. And you should always, always ask for advice if you need it. There's only one thing that I want you to take from this presentation, only one thing, and that is to be patient. Again, you're all smart, you're all talented, you're all here for a reason. The only thing you may not have is patience to go through this process. And I guarantee you that once you have the patience, you'll be very, very successful here. Now, this is my kind of last words of wisdom, because I'm graduating next month. I'm a dual degree, so I have one less semester of business school. For me, it has been the most amazing experience of my life. I know that you've heard that a lot. You know, business school is the best 2 years of your life. It is. Just challenge yourself. Make every day count here, because what you put in is what you get. And I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you around tomorrow.